What's up, all my kaiju friends and fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Cincinnati, Greater Cincinnati. In this video, I want to list my top 5 dastardly evil kaiju villains. This is my opinion, my list. Just the ones that I think are pure evil in every sense. Has always been evil in their appearance and will always be scary, evil, dastardly to me. And let's start off with number 5 on my list of the most evil, dastardly, scary kaiju villains. Alright everybody, number 5 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju is the skull crawlers from the 2017 film Kong Skull Island. They were very, very wicked, evil creatures, very mobile, very quick, very agile, a real threat to Kong in the film. They scared the crap out of me personally because they openly just ate human beings like they were a snack in the film. Very, very menacing creature. I wonder always, like, if Kong doesn't keep these things under control, then they could reach mainland. They could have taken over the earth, in my opinion. They were just that dastardly, that evil, that quick. Their speed, their quickness, their agility, their strength. They had a very good combination of all this, and I think they would have been a real threat to humanity's existence on earth if Kong doesn't keep them down and keep them under control, because they are pure evil in every sense, in my opinion. Especially, we know there was this big one, Ramarak, in the film at the end, and I have a feeling there's probably even bigger ones on Skull Island in the Hollow Earth that we just haven't seen yet. It'll be interesting to see if anything like these shows up in Godzilla vs. Kong. I think it's a very good possibility that we might see some skull crawlers in the film, which to me would be cool, because for me, this is my favorite original designed kaiju from the MonsterVerse so far, the skull crawler. It's the most vicious, terrifying, evil, dastardly kaiju, in my opinion, that's come along in the MonsterVerse yet, and that's an original design. And I just feel like this thing is definitely a threat to humanity if Kong doesn't keep them under control. So my number 5 is on my list of most evil, dastardly, villainous kaiju is the skull crawlers from Kong Skull Island. Now we'll move on to number 4 on my list, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, number 4 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju is Destroya from the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destroya. He makes this list, in my view, just because he looks very evil, very menacing, very, very dastardly, and because of what he did in the film. He basically killed Godzilla's son right in front of him, which was pretty crazy. In the whole movie, Godzilla was trying to chase down Godzilla Jr., and he finally gets to where he's right there with him, and Destroya just said, "Screw you, buddy," and picked the son up and dropped him from a loft and killed him pretty bad. That's why Destroya is on this list for me personally, is just because of his dastardly evil acts, and especially that act in the movie. It was very, 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 very heinous and evil maneuver to do that to Godzilla. So that is why number 4 on my list of the most evil, dastardly, villainous kaiju is Destroya from 1995's Godzilla vs. Destroya. Alright, we will move on and see what is number 3 on my list of the most evil, dastardly, villainous kaiju, and let's move on to number 3 right now. Number 3 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju is Gyaos from the Gamera series. Gauss was a threat to all humanity in the film. Gauss was openly devouring and eating people. He wanted to eat people. Very, very scary kaiju. Very scary looking kaiju. Looks like a bat in many ways. Scary. Could you imagine if this thing swooped down out of the sky and just devoured you? That would scare a lot of people, I'm sure. And he was a real threat to all of humanity and to Gamera in the film, and very, very, very well deserved to be on my list, in my opinion, of the top 5 most evil, dastardly, villainous kaiju. Gauss is a threat in the movie in every sense. Pure scary because of his effect of what he was doing to human beings in the film, and if it wasn't for Gamera, God knows what would have happened to the Earth. I'm pretty sure he would have taken over the Earth with no problem if it wouldn't have been for Gamera and his efforts. So number 3 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju is Gauss from the Gamera series. All right, let's see who's number 2 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju. Let's move on to number 2 right now. Number 2, people. Yes, he has to be there. This guy has to be there. One of the kaiju, to me, the kaiju that deserved a sequel the most to be in another feature Godzilla film is this guy, Hedorah, the smog monster. He is number 2 on my list of the most devious, dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju. I mean, if you watch the film and see what he is and what he's because of us, our pollution, our damage to the planet, that we created this problem, this very, very, very intense problem for us in the film. I mean, the movie does have some goofy psychedelic elements to it, but this message in the movie is pretty serious, and he is deadly serious. I mean, he is openly destroying and killing human beings with his poisonous smog, and it's very, very graphic, in my opinion, for that time, what he's doing to people in the film. And he was an immense threat to humanity and the Earth's population, and Godzilla, along with the help of the Japanese military, does defeat Hedorah in the film, barely. I don't know that Godzilla defeats Hedorah without the help of the military and the solar panels in which they use to dry Hedorah up with electricity. So the combination of Godzilla and the military overcame Hedorah, but I mean, just what he was doing in the film, and how he was kind of toying with Godzilla at moments in the film, and really put a beat down on Godzilla. And it was the first film, in my opinion, that when I was a kid, I watched it and I was like, Godzilla's gonna lose, So that's why he is very high on my list. Number 2 on my list of most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju is Hedorah from 1971's Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Now we'll move on to see what kaiju is number 1 on my list of the most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju. Let's check that out right now. You gotta know, this guy was going to be on this list, but he was my number 1. It came down to him and Hedorah, and I had to put this guy number 1. This is Gyra from the film War of the Gargantuas. Gyra was played by the great, awesome Haru Nakajima, God bless you. And he said, I believe, if I'm correct, that this was one of his favorite roles to do, because you could actually see his eyes from this suit, that were actually his eyes that you could see, and he could really express himself through his eyes. And Gyra, of course, was pure evil in all senses of the word, in comparison to his brother, which was a lot more docile and forgiving. And Sanda really didn't want to hurt any humans, but Gyra was openly eating human beings in the film, so you just have to know that Gyra has to be on anyone's list of most evil, dastardly kaiju villains, because he's something else, that's for sure. But he's my number one on my list. Gyra. Definitely a threat to humans in every sense of the word in the film. All right, everybody. Y'all want to comment below? You can. Any of my kaiju video makers want to do a list like this as well? I think that would be cool to see what your list is of the top 5 most dastardly evil kaiju villains. I'd like to see anyone else would like to do a list like this. That would be cool. These are my top 5. If y'all want to do a list, Matt Jacobson, Gojira 851, Leslie Chambers, Casey Roberts. Any of y'all want to do a list? William Fett, you want to do the Godzilla files? If any of y'all want to partake in this and do your list, I'd love to see what everyone else's list is, but that was my top 5, with Gyra sitting atop the perch ever so slightly above Hedra. Hedra almost took this top spot, but I had to put Gyra up there. But I'd like to see if anyone else wants to do a list of their top 5 most dastardly, evil, villainous kaiju. By all means, I'd love to see what everyone comes up with, because this was my top 5, so I just thought it would be cool to do a list like this today. All right, I want to thank everyone that tunes into my channel. If you like the video, like it and comment below. I'll close my video with a close-up of these guys. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati. And me and the evil, dastardly, evil, villainous Gyra. I want to wish you all a very blessed kaiju-filled day, and I'll talk to you again real soon.